Yo, we live right at the bell. Right at the bell. Give me a second. Give me a second. I'm not expecting too much right at open. That's why I delayed going live a little bit. But we'll go over to what I'm thinking. What could possibly happen as well. Let me let Discord know. How's it going? Chilling right now. How about you? How about you? How's everyone doing this morning? Today, in the markets, I don't know. It's not looking as appetizing. At least this starting off. If we just look at NQ and ES, ES is ES and NQ are tell me two different stories right now. And ideally, when I'm trading, I want to see them both aligning. But this could set us up for something later on. You know, like this divergence is probably just going to set us up for a maybe later move. You know. Yo, what's good? What's good? OT. What's good, Evan? How are you? I'm chilling. I'm chilling. Per usual. Per usual. Per usual. But yeah, yesterday's action was actually very nice. I think that yesterday was like one of the most textbook days that we've had in a minute. You know, bias. My overall bias today is I'm leaning more. It's hard to say. Like we're an all-time high, so I wouldn't really fade being bullish, but off of open, I want to see Asia High get taken. I want to see Asia High get taken on NQ. That's what I really. That's what I'm really looking for. If we look at YM though, I was looking at YM earlier, and I just use YM occasionally just for like SMT and such. So like YM kind of looks bullish here. Kind of looks bullish here. I mean, we really put in like this double top, I guess you could say, during Asia, which is what I don't like to see, you know, which is what I would like to see if I'm bullish. Overall, if we look at this though, we have taken these lows here, so we do have an SMT, but overall, YM has been looking like kind of like we do want to have a run lower. We came right up into this fair value gap, and we kind of are tapering off lower. I want to see. I don't think that this is an area which I really want to take a trade here. Like for me, I just don't really know enough. Like I would know more here. If we get displacement lower at all on YM, like we're most likely going to this imbalance here. Because all of this is balanced. There's like no inefficiency throughout time within here. So I really don't think that YM has any interest in going over here at all. I think the next draw on liquidity, if we displace a little bit lower, would be here. Overall, order flow is bearish, but we have taken these lows here and we have put in like equal highs here. But if we're looking at this imbalance here, we came up and we didn't even come within consequent encroachment of this. That's very bearish. So overall, I could go either way right now. I needed the market to show me where it wants to go. Right now, we're kind of in between. We're kind of in between. Bullish. Me personally, I'm letting the market see what it wants to do. I mean, this looks a little bit suspect to me. I don't like how we barely took this high. We barely took this high here on ES, so we'll see what happens. What's good? What's good? Look at the NAS 100. I got you. That's why I usually trade, but I like to see YM. I used to never use YM. I used to say like, oh, YM's useless. But I would say YM's actually YM. If you know it, if you don't use YM for like SMTs occasionally, I feel like it. At least for me, that's my personal conviction. I like to use YM for SMTs. If we look at this, what are we creating here? High resistance liquidity. This is your 3 drives, or what is this, like 4 drives now? Either way, it's high resistance liquidity at the highs. Probably not the. I'm definitely waiting. We now have SMT at the highs though. This is exactly what I was expecting. That I want to see how we're gonna react off this level. There was a nice market maker model this morning that I was looking at. I tapered this, like I just put like an entry up, but I wasn't actually gonna trade this. But the entry that I was looking at here off this market maker model was this order block right here. This order block here, come up straight to buy side. This is what I was looking at this morning. His entry. I mean, for me, it's like 10 points. Even if I were on a live account, I don't know if I would trade this. Ends up hitting TP pretty nicely. Then we sell back down. Where do we go to? Where does price go to here? This volume imbalance. And then we hit higher. So right now, we are in all-time highs, I'm pretty sure. Is this all-time highs? Yeah. We're in all-time highs right now. Man, I don't even know where we're at in the market right now. That's crazy. All-time highs on NQ, so I don't know. It's just, this is also why I'm not like actually trading. I'm just tape reading. It's because like we're in all-time highs as well. So I know there's opportunity. I know that there's ways to make money. Yeah, but I don't really see the need to, you know, rush to try to make money during all-time highs. The market's hardly, or is not hardly, but the market isn't in all-time highs forever. So therefore, I'm just gonna wait probably till we get out of all-time highs. So my game plan is like, I don't know. For me as a trader, I think I might wait until we at least like slowly displace out of these all-time highs to like really go live. You know, maybe like down here. I'm not really sure. I'm here at whatever pace it takes. How does it affect the market when we're making new highs and there's no fair value gaps above it? What do you mean? When we're making new highs, are you talking about like draw on liquidity, like a fair value gap as a draw on liquidity up here? I mean, like it's definitely harder, I would say. The only thing that you can really use is like standard deviation projections. But even then to like project new highs, I don't think that's something that you should try to do, you know? Well, especially me. I'm not gonna try to do that. But what I could use is like a standard deviation projection. The standard deviation level that I have marked out is this. I have this 1 hour. This is like that last manipulation leg. This is the only standard deviation I have marked out. Is this last manipulation leg till we get that displacement higher. That's the only thing I have marked out. What's good, Umar? How you doing today? Oh, I'm chilling. How about you? How is everyone doing this morning? Bro, I'm not gonna lie. I'm just waiting for 10 o'clock. I've been locking in a lot more on like 10 a.m. 10 a.m. that silver bullet hour. I'm watching that 2023 mentorship and I've been paying a lot more attention to that. But overall, we do have SMT at the highs here with ES and YM, I bet. Let's look on the daily on ES because I haven't really looked at it. We're kind of just trading back and forth within this. We did have an immediate rebalance yesterday on the daily. On NQ, we immediately rebalanced to this high here. That's pretty bullish delivery. Overall, we have all-time highs above us, and then we have wicks below us on the daily. And we have this order block. It's not going to be the best conditions to take a trade in. And I feel like you should know that going into today. Just have that mindset, or at least that's my mindset when I'm reading this tape. Conditions aren't the highest probability right now. They're not. Overall, Order flow is still bullish. Order flow is bullish on NQ. I would not fade it. Overall, though, on YM, it's looking like we could favor a run to this imbalance if we get displacement lower. So I need to wait to see more. This does look like a sweep of sell side, and then we do have equal highs above here, like a double top. Yeah, I don't know if I like all these drawings. Look at these relative equal highs. I think the market could attack these. We'll see what happens. I mean, we could be leaving. We don't have to be repricing back to this today. Like, this doesn't have to be a today thing, you know? Like, we could come up on YM up to here, to these highs. Back into fill consequent encroachment of this, and then head lower. Let's see what happens. Going every day, not expecting to trade. I would agree. For me, like, it all depends on who you are as like a trader. For me, I take like one trade a day max. That's usually how I like to trade. I mean, very rarely will I take two trades. In the days when I take two trades, I just don't really feel right about it. So like, it's all finding out like what works for you. And for me, it just makes sense in my brain just to take one trade. Okay, you took a loss. We'll be back tomorrow. And the times when I take more than one trade, and my first trade's a loss, usually the second trade's also a loss. So like, very rarely will I take a loss then a win. So like, I just decide just to cut it after one. It all depends on the situation though. Let me pull up NQ. I'll go over this tab. All right, we have taken buy side, and we're starting to get 5-minute change of state delivery here on where's the SMT? So we have this big SMT here, this big divergence between NQ and ES here. ES is tipping his hand that the market might want to hit lower, and this is kind of what I'm expecting to see. I don't love how the SMT isn't like the cleanest in time and price. You can mark it out here. That's also a ES has like barely taken these highs. Barely. By like maybe 1 point, which I don't like either. Like, anytime I see a shallow sweep like this, I think that we're going to come back up and take these highs a little bit more. Between futures and indices, well, I mean, if futures is just a way to trade. So you have options forex, then you have like crypto, which I don't know anything about, and I don't know much about forex too, but it's pretty much just a way to trade. Indice is like an actual, it's a overall thing. It's an overall like thing that tracks stocks, that tracks companies. So indice would be the S&P 500. It tracks 500 stocks. It's an indice. It tracks 500 stocks. NASDAQ is also an indice because it tracks 100 stocks. And then the Dow is also an indice. It tracks 30 stocks, 30 companies. When you sign up on a prop firm, I trade futures. I use Tradeovate to trade futures. That's what I personally use. All right, this is looking very mixed in my opinion. I feel like we get a run to either higher buy side here, or we could get a run to sell side. Overall, if I'm gonna take a long today, I am taking it on ES. I'm not gonna take a long on NQ because NQ is in all time highs. This is all time highs. Up here's all time highs on NQ. Let's see what happens. We do have this inefficiency we could reach for. Do you use Tradeovate off of funded account or just personal account? I have both. I have both. I have both. But I would recommend Tradeovate. That's what I've used, and I thought it. I mean, it was a little bit. It was a little bit confusing at first, but then once you get used to it, it's fine. Is this that original consolidation on NQ or on ES within that fair value gap? We'll see. I'm waiting for 10 o'clock. That's personally what I'm waiting for. In about 5 minutes, this 950 macro is going to open up as well. So I think it might be a little bit more clear as more candles paint for me. I mean, if you see an opportunity here, that go for it. We have taken sell side here on YM. Oh, and this change of state delivery on YM off that 15-minute change of state delivery. This to me looks like we want to attack these highs here. We have these equal highs here. That's your original consolidation. You have buy side resting here. You've now had that 15-minute change of state delivery on YM. Let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. There's no futures there. All I'm seeing is the NAS 100. So is that futures or index or what? Are you talking about on Tradeovate? To trade Nasdaq, which is an indice. You have to trade it with the futures, or you can trade it with the futures contract. You can also trade options, which to trade options you trade QQQ on like on Webull is what I would recommend. But to trade it off of Tradeovate, you'd have to look up the symbol. What is it? I would recommend look up MNQ, which is the micro contract. I'd also recommend watching a video that explains it probably better than I can. Yeah, NQ is the futures contract for Nasdaq. Nasdaq is the indice. When you trade Nasdaq, you don't have to trade futures. You can trade options as well. How much startup capital do you need on Tradeovate to be able to trade NAS? I think you need $100 to trade micros. I don't know 100%. I think you need $100. That's what I think you need. I think you need $100. Look at order flow here. Order flow is still bullish at this 9:30 15-minute candle. We've kind of we took both buy side and sell side. We took buy side first. Then we use this for value gap as support here. 10 a.m. silver bullet. Yeah, that's what I'm looking for. That's kind of what I've evolved to kind of like look for in the markets is that silver bullet at 10 a.m. Especially since I've been watching the 2023 mentorship recently, and that's like the 2023 mentorship model is the silver bullet. I've gone through 100 hours of video. There's no way. Actually, what videos you watching? I don't think it's that complicated. So like you're trying to trade futures, is that right? Let me see if I can help you out. I might pull it. So you want to trade futures? I would recommend getting a Trade Evade account. All right, let me see if this pulls up. So what you do in here, oh, it always does this, I swear. So what you can do in here is you can go in here, and then what you want to do is if you want to actually trade this. If you go, oh, you live in Europe? Oh, I couldn't tell you that. I don't know. I don't know how international works. This is a 15-second market maker buy model here. Yeah, the order block for value gap, that would have been your entry. Yeah, I'm just seeing this on the lower time frame. Original consolidation right here. Hey, 15-second model. So basically what you're going to do if you go in here, you want to trade it, you're going to go new tab and then type in MNQ to trade the micro contract of NQ. Select that. Say you want to trade one, you can either like buy at the market or you can set a limit. Was this is your change state delivery here. Order block. Then we get like that market structure shift. Pull back for value gap. Then we get fair value gap order block paired with that mitigation block over here. Or a mitigation block over here. That would have been an entry up to buy side here. And this looks like we're gonna take buy side. It's on the 15-second. I don't usually trade 15-second chart, but I mean price is fractal, so it's gonna show you the same aspects on the 15-second chart. Have you never looked at the 15-second chart? I mean, it's the same data. It's the same data. It's just more condensed. Like you can go like there's a 5-second chart you can use as well. I mean, for me, like I know that you don't need any of this. A 5-second chart's crazy, but like you see how this is still a market maker model. Like this is still like I could show you this and I could tell you this is like a 1-minute chart and you could believe me. Look at this. You have your what sell side taken here. Sell side take. This is a 2022 model. Sell side taken, market structure shift, imbalance. That's your entry. Displacement higher. Fair value gap here. Boom. Another fair value gap. Higher time frame market structure shift there. Fair value gap. Pull back. Order block. Silver bullet. Boom. That's a nice buy model. Let's see what it looks like on the 1 minute. And that's that same chart, just on the 1 minute. That's what it looks like on the 5 minute. I've been looking at ICT OTE's principle to help me with 10 a.m. models. Well, where do you recommend? I don't know. I'm gonna stick to what I'm doing. ICT, OTE. Was it like an OTE retracement at 10 a.m.? Today's 10 a.m. is going to be a little bit hard. I'm not going to lie. Today's 10 a.m. is going to be a little bit hard. The fact that we're in all-time highs and NQ and ES are so, we have this big divergence between NQ and ES. I think ES is likely going to take all-time highs today. I think we're going to push up higher. Yeah, I understand it's fractal, of course, but at some point the density exceeds the value it can bring you. Yeah, I don't know. I would say, like, especially, like, just to look at price action, like, those smaller time frame charts, you're going to be able to see more price. I mean, it's all matters about, like, context. Like, draw liquidity over everything. Higher time frame over everything, but, like, if you know where the higher time frame's going, like, you can use that lower time frame for some more context. I mean, like, I use the 1 minute, and, like, I'm fully aware that the 1 minute can be a little bit too bad, you know. Let's go, Luca. I got in at NQ longs at 18812. This buy model. Nice. Order block. All right, right now order flow's bullish. I'm thinking ES is gonna run up, or like, I'm not gonna all of a sudden fade this order flow. So we also look at YM as well. I think YM's gonna make a run for these equal highs here. That's where I think the market's heading. I think we're heading higher. $10 a.m. is about to open up in 4 minutes. Let's see what happens. Overall, ES has not made any fair value gap here. We haven't made any fair value gap. This is a balanced price range. The only imbalance we have is here, and this is overlapped with this imbalance. So overall, price doesn't need to head lower at all here. If we are gonna go higher, like, you could enter here on the 5 minute and then look to see, like, maybe buy side up here. I don't know for sure if price is gonna head all the way up here. For me, it's not as clear to what we're likely to do. On the 15 minute, however, we do have this 15 minute imbalance. But I don't think price needs to trade into the here at all, into this 15 minute fair value gap. Because it's all balanced on the 5 minute. We'll see what happens though. We do have this Cibi here. Or was this, is this an hourly? Yeah, do have this hourly gap. It's also a 4-hour gap as well. We've taken buy side here. Overall, this is still bullish. We do have failure swings here. We do have relatively equal lows here, so that's something to be aware of. If we get any displacement lower here within this 10 a.m. window, I think we're heading to sell side for sure. We also have that SMT at the highs here that we're likely going to put in. So I think price could reach up here into this gap here, displace lower, and then we could head to these relative equal lows. I don't know if that's going to happen for sure. I'm going to wait and see what the market shows us. But overall, what is price doing right now? It's pretty bullish. Or bullish order flow. I'm not going to fade that. Is there a limit on lot size when trading? No. Nope. I mean, like, hypothetically, you could scale to, like, billions of dollars. It's a leverage based game. So like if someone, so with that being said, like I always say that like it doesn't matter at all about how much money you make trading. It literally does not. We can take the same trade. I can make $100. You can make $1,000. And we took the same exact trade. Same exact trade. We had the same exact conviction. Your app only lets you go up to 100. I don't know. I don't know. What people do is they buy like 20 Apex accounts or they buy multiple prop firm accounts. I know that there's people that do that. We do have that volume imbalance there. That 1 hour candle just closed above that volume imbalance. That's what you want to see. We're now within this fair value gap. Fair value gap. Price on ES. This could be your Judas swing at 10 a.m. Coming to this fair value gap. Your SMT at these highs. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Hey, good morning, bro. Overall, we're an all-time high, so I went long on NQ. That's just me personally. And like, if we're looking at this chart, like you gotta be lying if you tell me this looks like full on clear. This was a market maker buy model. The entries were on the lower time frame though. Like I'll pull that up real quick again. Like this was that market maker buy model we had this morning. The best entry I like would be this mitigation fair value gap order block right there. Boom. Up to buy side. How many points is that? 12 to. That's only like 10 points, 15 points. That's all you need. Off that 5-second chart, we had that 2022, you know? Sell side, market share shift, pull back imbalance. Buy side taken. I'm anticipating some form of displacement lower. That's what I kind of want to see. If that happens, I think we're gonna head back to these lows, and we also have new week opening gap below us on ES. And why I think that we could be heading back to new week opening gap because this week kind of had consolidation, like inside days. So I think this new week opening gap is going to get used a lot. Is that a spider on the wall? I think you're tweaking. Hopefully not, bro. The ES's chart hasn't been the prettiest recently, bro. Like yesterday, ES is giving you a lot of entries off order blocks until later in the day. We kind of created imbalances. That would have been near a better entry. All right, I'm just waiting for to see some meaningful displacement at 10. I would agree. Like no imbalances, and you're pretty much just repricing the order blocks. That's how that's how I, like, especially like yesterday as well. Look at yesterday's action. Like during this whole market maker buy model, we made like one fair value gap here within. It was that 5 minute gap I was talking about in my market review. It was that 5 minute gap with the order block and the week opening gap. I think there was there was the mitigation block here as well. That's the only like imbalance. Where I guess here. Displacement is just on fair value gap. Like if I ever say displacement or if you ever hear displacement, this is how I view it. It's just a sharp move away. It shows like what the big institutions are doing because they have big orders, so they'll likely create some form of fair value gap when they enter or look to enter. So it shows that hey, smart money's on your side. Probabilistically they are. That creates a gap. So then you want to see that gap get traded back up into. Then head lower. In this whole range, like we have not created any sort of fair value gap. There's no displacement here. Not yet. We could be getting something here on the 1 minute on the NQ, but I don't know if I really favor this upside move. Like, for me personally, it's just not that appealing. But this could be some continuation at 10 a.m. We could create a gap here. Could trade back down into that. I honestly don't think we will. I'll pull up YM here. Just so I get a read on what YM's doing right now. Okay, YM's repricing back to this fair value gap. Do we have an SMT of these lows at least? It's not the. We had SMT here. That's not the cleanest. Pull up ES. No. Alright, look at that. See, that's what I was kind of looking for. Now we've kind of have some displacement lower. What's this? Is this a previous imbalance? It's that previous 15-minute imbalance. Could be tagging here. Yeah, I don't think it's likely going to be there this morning, you know? I wouldn't force it. I think in the PM session there might be a better setup. Overall, I mean, like there still could be a nice quality setup, but I mean, it just doesn't look as clean, and like we want to trade when it looks clean. Like yesterday was a good example. It looked clean. It looked clear. Today it doesn't really. It looks a little bit shadier. It looks like, especially right now at this moment. So therefore, like I'm not really gonna be looked to engage, and that's cool. Like there's gonna be times when it just doesn't look as clear. That's when you can go back, and then you can see like, hey, what did I miss? What wasn't clear at the moment, and what like ended up actually happening. That's why hindsight's so important within trading. First time watching, buddy. Definitely gonna be watching the lives. Or hey, appreciate it, bro. Appreciate it. Waiting for meaningful displacement to favor shorts, but we gotta wait to see the markets tipping his hand. Yeah, 100%, 100%, 100%. Like I know I'm not gonna really pay like this like much mind because like you're saying, Eric, mental capital is key too. Like if you burn yourself out trying to look for setups within here, then like I don't know what to say. I mean, there likely will be opportunity, but for me and my personal conviction, like I don't really see like a clear setup. So I'm not really me personally. I'm not gonna look to engage. That doesn't mean that you can't look to trade it. That doesn't mean that there's not gonna be a trade, and that doesn't mean that I'm right because I'm always I'm a student. So I think that yesterday's price action was very nice. That stream yesterday was a pretty good stream. I wanna pull up price action yesterday real quick. We had this nice market maker model off of that daily order block. Looking back, I wasn't looking at YM at the time, but we had a SMT here between these lows. So like at the time, like during that recording, during that yesterday's live stream, I was like, I don't like this failure swing, but we really had an SMT here. If I had seen that SMT, I would have been more open to seeing this. But I wasn't really paying attention too much to YM at the time, which is why I do like paying attention to YM. 5-minute change of state delivery here. I mean, technically you kind of have one here, but I like this change of state delivery a lot more. Pull back. Then you had the SMT right there. That was the entry I was looking at. All this for value gap. Price gets flooded up to buy side. Then what ends up happening after we take buy side? We generate liquidity lower. We take stops 10 head higher. We generate liquidity. We probably have I think we had an SMT here to then head higher. We generate liquidity, reprice lower to then head higher. Like that's all we're doing within here. Like any retracement lower is just to go higher. Up to this draw on liquidity. And then right now, this morning, we kind of had like a... At 7 a.m., New York... is that New York AM open? I think it is. We had this imbalance here. We came back in at consequent encroachment of it. Head higher up to buy side. And I think that the trade was definitely in here. I was watching this and I was looking at this order block here. That was a nice like 10-point run. We ended up taking this high, back in that fair value gap. In this 15-minute fair value gap is what I'm looking at. We still have buy side resting above here. We come back down lower to this order block. Also back to this fair value gap that never got traded into. We have a deep retracement. We think that people think that it could be heading lower here. Oh, price is heading lower here after this. We just had a sharp move. What we're really doing is just repricing to here. So then you get displacement higher. Once you see this, you see a fair value gap to the downside. Immediately reversed by a fair value gap to the upside. That's when we know we're likely going to head to buy side. We gotta push the buy side there. And then we take all-time highs within this push. And then we get another push lower. And then this is just inducing traders that we're gonna head lower, to then us just, this is a market maker model on the lower time frame up to buy side. And then here, I don't really know what price wants to do here, so I'm gonna wait. I don't really like this. I didn't take that trade, but based off the possible trade entry, could have taken longs that. Yeah, right. Are you talking about like in here, in this area? I'm guessing. Those deep retracements. Not at 10 a.m. Look at this though. We held OTE of this range for the. Oh, I see you. I see. Yeah. Right to OTE. Does consequent encroachment of this wick hold? Yeah, look at that. Now this becomes your silver bullet here. I think we're gonna run to these highs. Wow. I mean, like, there's always gonna be something that you miss. Look how well consequent encroachment held. Then I think this gap would have been your entry. It's also kind of this order block high too. Look exactly where price heads back to. Like algorithmically to this order block high. A little bit trickier though. A little bit trickier. Do we have a 5-minute gap here? Like, oh, okay. There's not really like a higher time frame PD array that we're bouncing off of, which is what I don't love. You know, like you kind of have this like fair value gap over here. Is that a 2-minute? Yeah, you have a 2-minute fair value gap over here. I just don't think it's like the cleanest in the world, but it's still there, you know? Like, it's still there. Constant encroachment of this wick hole is displacement, fair value gap, or block. You have the whole narrative that YM wants to go higher. Possibly. YM, this looks like a possible entry here. I don't really trade YM, so I just use it for divergence. Pull back to 15-minute fair value gap here. This move lower is just generating liquidity. That's all this is. You're just generating liquidity, inducing people into that 15-minute fair value gap. Okay, once we trade into that gap, you're waiting. Market structure shit. Change state delivery here. 2-minute gap here. This is pretty scalpy though. Pretty stop. I'll probably put my stop here if I was in it. I don't know if I like this risk reward. And then you could leave a runner to buy side. That's 28 points on YM. I don't know like how many points. Like ES is $5 per tick. How much is YM? Does anyone know? I'm gonna go now. Have a good one. Hey, have a good one, Evan. How high are spreads on NQ? I've never traded it. Honestly, I couldn't tell. I don't know. Honestly, don't know. And that might be bad. I don't know about spreads. Okay, we now created an order block here. This will likely be an order block. Two-minute fair value gap. Change state delivery. Fair value gap right there. We have buy side resting here. Overall, like a little bit, I would say a little bit tougher today. At least for the AM. I do think price is likely to spool higher. Let's look at dollar too. I want to pull up dollar. Yeah, we have sell side resting below us. Dollars kind of dollar just filled in majority of this imbalance. We're still within this SIBI. Kind of come back up to this daily order block or weekly bearish order block here. Dollar as well doesn't look clear. Like order flow's kind of starting to shift here, but it's also overall bearish. But overall, if we zoom out higher time frame, it's bullish. So I'm more paying attention to this bullish order flow. Come back down to this mitigation block here. I'll pay attention to this area here. This mitigation block, if this is going to hold, we'll likely see buy side. I don't know if I said it, but have a good one, Evan. I feel like I did. I see a pretty high spread compared to other futures. Clearly, price ain't suitable to trade. Yeah, I would agree. I mean, like you can trade. Like it all depends on who you are. Like someone could trade this. Someone could think that it like looks the best. But for me personally, I just don't think that price looks the cleanest right now. So I'm not gonna trade it. I'm not gonna trade it. I think the better trade was I was looking at it earlier. There was this market maker model here. You had the original consolidation, pull back to an imbalance here. I like this model a lot better. All this, I'm not very much so interested. You know, it's kind of just high resistance conditions, and it's not the easiest for me to read personally. But if you can take a trade in that, cool. I'm not saying that you can't. Have you taken a trade yet? I have not. I'm likely not going to take a trade for a minute. I said that I was going to take like a month off. I'm just gonna read the tape. Are you going to trade after FOMC? It's FOMC meeting minutes today. That's what we have. It's not the actual FOMC, but that is also the red folder news that we have today. I'll pull it up so y'all can see. We have FOMC meeting minutes, which is pretty much 3 weeks after the actual FOMC. They released this document with just more details of what actually went on inside the actual FOMC discussions. So yeah, that's probably price could be waiting for this, but I think that would be nice. I think the PM session Silver Bowl is gonna be a lot nicer than the AM session because you also have news. I could have waited to go live, honestly. I might go live later as well. I doubt I'll like stay live for the whole session though. I used to do that, but I don't think it's the most beneficial, honestly. Price coming back into that 2-minute fair value gap. ES has yet to displace lower. ES is looking like CL right now. I don't know how I can say that. I've never really traded CL. I just heard stuff about it. Oh, CL looks bearish. What is this though? That's crazy. That was during COVID. That makes sense. We are trading. We did trade back up into this weekly imbalance, very barely, starting to reject off of it. Look how we traded back into this fair value gap here. Displacement, fair value gap. This kind of looks like Forex a little bit. There's definitely a market maker model here, a sell model here, smart money reversal, fair value gap. Is there a higher time frame, 15-minute imbalance here? Yeah, right there. AMD Power 3 MMXM. Yeah, I mean they all go together. Very, 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 very. I don't want to personally trade this, and I think that this. I think that this morning is gonna be a little bit trickier, for me personally. We have come back down to that 2-minute fair value gap. I was taking buy side but didn't. Come back down, lower. ES repriced to its 15-minute fair value gap here. Pull up YM. YM's kind of playing out. I think YM was probably the cleanest for 10 a.m. I think YM's the only one that gave us like a clear model. And I think we're going to see a run of these equal highs there too as well. That's what I personally think. That's what I personally think. We'll see if that happens though. Damn, bro, did my daily bias video not post? Yeah, I did. Yeah, we had that 15-minute fair value gap after taking sell side. Change state delivery here on YM. Zoom into the 1 minute. We're inducing liquidity into this fair value gap. Dang, I can't say fair value gap today. Fair value gap. Then we get market structure shift here. pull back to 2 minute fair value gap. That was the entry I liked. And then put your stop probably this low, target this high, 1 to 5 restored, and then maybe a runner to this high up here as well. But look at NQ overall. Look at NQ overall this morning on the 5 minute. I feel like there's certain days when you can kind of expect this. I feel like there's certain days when you can kind of expect this, or expect to see something like this. Why could you probably expect to see this today? Prices in all-time highs, and most importantly, NQ and ES were just weren't telling us the same thing, or at least me the same thing this morning. If you look at NQ, we're bullish. We're trading up to all-time highs. Look at ES. We're all the way back here. We're nowhere near Asia high. I do think that Asia does want to come up to take. I do think that ES does want to come up to take Asia high today. But now we do have this divergence here. We do have this SMT at the highs. Once YM takes these equal highs here, I think we could get a move lower. Let's see what happens though. Like, I'm not here to try to predict when I don't have enough information. But this is what I'm anticipating price to do. We don't have clean price action today. Yeah, I would agree. You're not going to have clean price action every single morning. I mean, it all depends on how you see it as well. Someone can see this and someone can say, oh, this was a very clear market maker buy model on YM. We have put an intermediate term high in on ES though, or on NQ. This is your intermediate term high. Right there. I don't know why I did all that. Okay, if we start to displace lower, like truly displace, I would be open to the fact that ES could trade into these lows here. This looks too clean. I think that this will get visited at some point either today or tomorrow. I don't know for sure when. I think overall this week is going to be this weekly candle we're going to accumulate. That's what I think. Cause why? I think we're gonna put in this fair value gap here on the weekly candle. That's what I'm leaning towards in my analysis. Let's go on NQ as well. Yeah, I think we'll put in a fair value gap on the weekly. I don't know. Like, we're holding this rejection block, displacement lower. We're now generating lows here. In this gap. Let me price grade this. See, the fact that we have dug into like 75% of this is a pretty shallow raid. I think price could come back down into here. I think that's what Price might want to do. Your TP would have got hit on that trade. I think personally, I kind of want to. I don't know when I'm gonna go to a live account or like when I'm gonna like start trading again, but I think personally, like I just want to get to a point to where it gets boring. It gets boring, and then I hop on a live account. It like gets too boring. But yeah, this is another nice little trade that I had like kind of like posted up. Like if I had to trade today, I would have took this trade on YM. But I don't really ever trade YM, but I might start trading YM or looking to trade. Like I used to never look at YM, but then I started to, and it's really helped my analysis because like, uh, if you're not paying attention to YM, you're kind of missing out on like what the market might want to do because the market uses or smart money uses YM as well. I think you're at a great level to start trading live. I would think that like I'm definitely better than what I used to be. I mean, it all depends. Like, I want to get to a point to where like it gets boring, you know. Like I'm in no rush to make money, so I'd rather improve my technical trading ability. If that makes sense, like I want to become a better analyst because I would say that I think my mentals and like my psychology is decent, but then my analyst abilities need improvement. Yeah, look at this price action. Look at this price action. I think this is not something good to trade. I want to see displacement. That's what I'm anticipating. Like you notice a failure to go higher here. Notice a failure to really displace higher. I feel like if we want to go higher, we could go. Or actually, that kind of makes sense though because ES is back within this 1 hour for value gap. This is showing some initial resistance. And then we've also liquidated this original consolidation here. Draw that out. That's your buy side liquidity that we've taken. But look at this whole area here. This is all balanced. What I think price could do, I feel like this would be sneaky, is if we price all the way back down here to this BPR and then came back up without taking these lows. I feel like that would trick a lot of people, like they would see, oh, we're going all the way down to these lows, but we're really just heading to this imbalance to head back up to Asia highs. We'll see what happens. So I personally don't think there's much to really trade here right now. There's nothing that screams out at you, and like as a trader, you want something that screams out at you. I do not see that here today on the indices. I don't. The only indice that I think is somewhat decent today is YM. And that would have been that trade, and then I would have had a runner here, and then I would have put my stop at break even, but I would have reduced it on my runner. On what platform do you trade? Full name, please. I trade off a Trade-O-Eight. Trade-O-Eight. Is this platform here? Trade-O-Eight. That's what I use. Let's look at the lower time frame on NQ. We come back down to sell side here. Displacement, fair value gap. This actually kind of does look a little bit bullish. We're inducing traders. But also, this is your intermediate term high. I don't think we're ready yet. Like, there's going to be likely there's likely going to be better opportunity later within the day. And even if there's no opportunity later in the day, then there's always tomorrow. There's always tomorrow. You know, like, we are holding this 2-minute gap very nicely on the. Yeah, that 2-minute gap out in time. Comes back down, boom, boom. Oops. Okay. Did that help, bro? I want to be you a Jew. My only issue is the SMT at highs. Otherwise, long would be so easy. Yeah, I mean, I'm not putting too much conviction in this SMT at the highs. Just because, like, order flow, and if we look at this, I don't like how ES, like, barely took this high here. Like, you see how we barely took that? I think we're going to get a more meaningful purge of that high. Overall, though, like, this move lower as well just looks a little bit suspect. Because it's not like we were moving lower to really rebalance anywhere. Like, we didn't rebalance anywhere. We didn't rebalance a fair value gap. I mean, I guess this. But still, I don't like that. I don't like to see that. I'm leaning more towards Wednesday, we put in a high, and then Thursday, Friday, we have a reversal. That's what I'm more leaning towards seeing in price. We'll see what happens, though. Like, it all depends on what the chart gives us. But look at this morning. Do you want to be trading this? Do we want to be? I doubt it. I mean, personally, I don't. The only trade I saw was the YM. Have you ever tried Forex? I have never tried trading Forex. I don't really see the need for me because I live in America. I would say if I lived outside of the states, and I was on like London time or something like that, I'll be more open to trade Forex. Or I feel like there would be more of a need to trade Forex. But it's just like where I'm located, it makes sense for me to trade futures. Can't do anything unless crystal clear, I would agree. I mean, rather not force it. Rather not force it. Let's look at some Forex pairs at this point. We are starting to maybe get some displacement lower here. I randomly like skipped to the monthly there. Bro, I don't like this chart. I don't love it. I don't like that chart. Geo looks bullish. I don't know. I don't like forex. Like occasionally it'll be good. I would say, in my opinion. Like when you know what you're looking for, like on the daily, and then your daily levels get hit, then you could drop down and look for that lower time frame market maker model. I think that's the advantage to forex. You could be looking at like different pairs, and then you're able to see which pair you like. You know, Euro USD is very choppy today. Yeah, I would agree. I don't. I don't want to be trading this. I want to be trading something like this up here. Buy side taken, fair value gap, market share shift, fair value gap. Like this is a nice 2022 model here. Like I think forex you got to be a little bit more selective, like with it, in my opinion. What time is this at? London kill zone as well. Like notice how this happens at a certain time. This happens at a certain time. Why would you not be looking at this? This is during Asia. But then in London, that happens. Like, time's a very crucial aspect of trading. Like, is there really any other time you're going to expect this to form than 9:30 open? No. This is your Judas profile. This only happens because it happens at a certain time. It's coded to happen already. Like even this reversal. Where would it make sense for a PM reversal to happen? At 2. At a certain time, you know? I guess, okay, we had a lunch reversal. Around our stops here. All right, I think I'm gonna head out. I don't want to look at this. I don't want to look at this much longer. I think that what I think is gonna happen today. What I think is most likely to happen is I really don't know. I don't know yet. I need to wait. I need to wait to see more information. I'm anticipating to see maybe possibly another run on stops and then have displacement leverage and then possibly have a sell model. But we're right here within this 15-minute gap on ES. We're failing to meaningfully displace lower. The sell side here looks nice. The sell side here looks nice. That's all I'm really going to say. Overall, I think we could head up to Asia too. But this, wait, I got to be a little bit careful. Accumulation. Manipulation. Possible distribution here. Where do we manipulate into? That 15-minute fair value gap. Is this constant encroachment? If this is constant encroachment holding nice of this gap. This could be AMD model right here. Accumulation, manipulation, possible. I mean, I'll wait a few minutes. Unless we get a fair value gap here to the upside, we're not going to take this high. So if we get a fair value gap here to the upside, this is going to be an inverse. Then we're going to come up to take buy side here. You took the sell. I took sell model in London on Euro. Wait, when was that today? Did that all happen today, or was that yesterday? That sell model I was looking at. You're probably talking about today. Oh wait, that was today? Yo. Wait, no, today's Wednesday. Am I tweaking? Yeah, today's Wednesday. Wait. For me, it was today. Okay, I'm tweaking, bro. I'm tweaking. Okay, cause yeah, okay, this was ended. Okay. This was ended. Okay, I see. Yeah, this was nice model. Come up, take buy side. Like, did we really? Did we even take buy side? Oh, we didn't. Was there an SMT with? Cause you want to be using GU for SMT. Okay, there's definitely SMT there then. Displacement for value gap here, yeah. Sell off. And that's why New York AM's been choppy, because we're likely creating a daily for value gap here, or we're likely creating a higher time frame imbalance here. That's why we're chopping, because we're waiting to create that higher time frame PD array. So it's just like a 4 hour. Exactly. Or maybe a daily. No, just a 4 hour. Exactly. Exactly. That's why the market moves. Alright, let's see if we can create a fair value gap here. Yo! Could be cooking. Alright, if we create this bullish fair value gap, I think that we could be running to these highs. This now becomes accumulation, manipulation lower. Change state delivery here as well. It becomes your order block. I think right here could be a good entry. Also, you're within that 15-minute fair value gap as well. Overall, sentiment's bullish. I wouldn't really fade current order flow. I mean, this here, I don't really understand this price action of why price want to do this, but I guess I might understand after the day's done when I do my market review. Why I'm almost would have stopped you out. Yeah, we don't end up creating a fair value gap. This price action so bad? Yeah, I would agree. So therefore, I'm finna head out. I'm finna head out, like, for real. I might hop on live later today. I might hop on live for maybe a PM session. It all depends. It highly depends. I may not. But I think today's price action was definitely something to study, because these are the days that you don't want to just avoid these. I feel like these are the days you're gonna learn a lot, because like, why was price action so bad? How could you avoid this in the future? Because days like these are when you truly gonna get better. When you truly don't press the button on days like these, and like we're like, the day's not even over. This is probably just generating something for PM session. You know, I think PM session might be nice. And Q is crazy today. I would agree. This, I don't want to be trading this, and I did not trade this. So there's always gonna be another day within the market. So that's my view. Anyways, I'm gonna head out of here for real. It was a nice little session, but I might be back on later. But I'm not gonna put myself in front of the charts just to put myself in front of these charts, and I don't think that you should either. Like, the market isn't gonna drastically move, or it's likely not gonna drastically move between now and then, at least that FOMC minutes. Once that news release comes out, I think there's gonna be some action. But personally, I'm waiting for that, and I'm not gonna burn mental capital by staring at this when I don't need to be. Anyways, I appreciate you guys. Hopefully, y'all have a good rest of your day, and I'll see you guys